So we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Flag's over here in the corner. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Then we have our land acknowledgement. As we gather for this meeting, let us take a moment to reflect on the meaning of place, and in doing so, recognize the various traditional lands on which we do our business today. We wish to acknowledge this land on which this SBC meeting is taking place. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Hohokam, the Akima O'odham, and most recently, the Salt River Pima Indian community. Today, this meeting place is still the home of many indigenous people from across Maricopa, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to live and work on this land. Okay, so for our agenda today, we have our normal 15 minutes with Dr. Menzel for question and answers, and then our main presentation today is the SUSD highlights. So we have a couple slides from each of the individual schools. Thank you so much, SBC reps, and to the principals who pitched in to make that happen, and to Kim McClure, who did all the work to put it all together. So I'm not sure who all here is to represent for your school. So as we go through them, you can just raise your hand and we'll pass the microphone around, and then me and Kim will be filling in for the schools that weren't able to have a representative here today. And then we have some executive board updates, including announcing our board for next year, and a couple committee updates, and then if there's any announcements from any SBC reps. So with that, we'll go to questions with Dr. Menzel. If you have any cards, just feel free to bring them up as we're going along.
Good morning.
Okay. Good morning. How are you?
Good.
Okay. This says, Dr. Menzel, any cabinet updates?
Well, that's a very broad question.
That's why I wrote it that way.
So we are making progress. As you know, we have some departures. So we have a vacancy with respect to the Assistant Sup for Human Resources, and we will have a recommendation on the agenda for that position at our Tuesday meeting. We are making a shift with Dr. Hagigat's departure to be the superintendent at Phoenix Elementary. We're not going to replace that as an assistant superintendent. It will be an executive director level position focused on elementary education. And so through attrition, we're making some modifications to the structure of cabinet. Those are the two open positions at the present time. And we've posted for the executive director for elementary education, but we have not yet interviewed candidates.
Okay, thank you. And this is a little hard to read. Support is statement, again, for LGBTQ student staff. Do you want to reiterate his statement?
Yes, just asking for another stance from SUSD and supporting our LGBT staff and students. And I know you just sent out the Hanover, but I think the last Hanover study shared with you the number of students that we mentally safe in those categories.
So I would go back and point to the district's values, which are really important when we think about excellence, integrity, empathy, trust, unity, inclusion. And inclusion in particular is really important. We've talked about this repeatedly, that every person, regardless of their identity, needs to feel a sense of belonging, know that they're valued within our system. That's true for our students, it's true for our staff. And when we have an environment where some people don't feel valued or they don't feel safe, that's a cause for concern. And so as a district, we're working hard to live into the values that we've espoused and to be very intentional about creating a culture of care where everyone does feel that sense of belonging. And so that's important for us. We'll continue to reiterate that. We'll continue to address the issues, whether they're site-specific or across the district. Those are all very important priorities for us.
Thank you. Our K-8 school has little to no extracurricular activities. What can the district do to help schools expand their extracurricular offerings? What can a parent do to help?
So I would start by putting in a request on Let's Talk, my constant plug there. I'm not always aware of what opportunities are or are not available. We can do many things through community education. If there's an opportunity for expansion, we can look at what the demand is related to athletics or other potential extracurricular activities. So knowing which building it is and where the perceived opportunities for additional offerings exist, we would like to be able to do that. So the more specificity I have in terms of what's perceived to be missing, then we can take a look at who would be responsible for the leadership role.
Okay, your mic is not working great. All right, this says you have an excellent curriculum department who has chosen curriculum that will assist students in achieving. Why don't you ensure that all teachers use it?
So when we think about teaching and learning and the curriculum that we've adopted and the expectation for implementation, we're a district with 1,500 teachers, 29 buildings. We've had some interesting challenges over the last 2 years. I can't speak to how consistently curriculum was implemented across our buildings pre-COVID, but what I do know is that we have a commitment within the organization. Dr. Dodds Karen is leading the teaching and learning team to make sure we're providing the support for teachers so they understand not only what our district-approved curriculum is, but how best to utilize that in order to move our students forward. So that's a commitment that we have. We have some churning in building level leadership. Part of the implementation with Fidelity commitment is that principals and assistant principals need to understand the curriculum expectations so that they can support teachers in delivering that.
All right, thank you. This one says, just wanted to say thank you. Your leadership is appreciated. Do you, as superintendent of schools, personally believe that 6-year-olds should be exposed to the idea that their gender is their choice?
So I think that's a loaded question. So I will unpack it just a little bit. How many of you have been in a kindergarten classroom and we say, line up boys and girls? Right? We say that all the time. So we already have those conversations. If we have people within our system that don't identify as a boy or girl, are we supposed to deny their identity? The issue in the particular case is one related to an individual person who doesn't identify as either a boy or a girl. The specific ask was, just call me by my name, not by him or her, Mr. or Miss. It's a simple ask. So it's not instructional. We're not telling kids that they get a choice to be a boy or a girl. That's not a part of what we do in Scottsdale. But we do respect the fact that everybody identifies differently. I identify as a white male. I go by the name of Scott. I have a title. I can be Dr. Menzel, but I don't have to be. Everybody has a name. Some people don't get called by their given name at birth. My youngest daughter decided she didn't like that given name at all and has changed it. That's illegally changed it. So when we talk about what issues are at stake, we don't have the conversation that people are alleging that we have, but we do honor and recognize that some people don't identify as either male or female. That just is, and we're going to respect them as individuals.
Okay, thank you. So this is kind of a follow-up to that, and it says, do you believe your comments in support of their rights to say what they did will help to gain support from parents in the district you serve? Which this names the they, so I'm not going to say that.
Well, my hope is this, that we can come together and recognize that each person has value and worth in our system. And so there's this whole political narrative that's swirling about in Scottsdale, in Arizona, across the nation. And it gets superimposed on us, and everybody's looking for something to hang their hat on and say, well, that's the problem. That's evidence that they're indoctrinating our kids. Our teachers are working to educate the students in Scottsdale. They're working to support them in developing, not only academically, but as good humans who recognize and respect other humans that they live in community with. That's what we're trying to create, is a culture of care, a sense of belonging, so that everyone in our system can thrive. Plain and simple. And difference of identity is not really something that should be demonized. You may not understand it. I've gotten emails recently from grandparents of students who are young kids who are non-binary. And the grandparents said, I don't understand, but I'll tell you this, I love my grandchild unconditionally. And I think that's the message that we want to share. I don't have to understand, but I'm going to love unconditionally.
All right, thank you. This is my last question, so if anyone has any else, bring them on up, please. Is the district COVID dashboard still being updated? Is there an outbreak? Oh, there is an outbreak at my kid's school that has not been seen on the dashboard.
So I haven't looked at the dashboard recently. My belief is that it's still being updated. The numbers are so low that that's why I stopped looking at it. There is a building where we had a number of cases. Based on the new CDC guidelines, the county health department indicated that that does not meet the outbreak status in the new definition. That's why it's not there on the website. So things have shifted in terms of what the CDC counts as an outbreak, which means Maricopa County Department of Public Health is reflecting it differently. So we're communicating information. They said that we're doing everything that we're legally able to do in order to inform parents and implement appropriate strategies. But the definitions have shifted from where they were at the beginning of the school year.
Okay, thank you. And thank you, Dr. Menzel. Every month he joins us. This is very generous of your time, and we really appreciate it.
I appreciate the chance to do this. I appreciate your continued support and engagement. We have a lot of work to do. There are a lot of challenges. There are a lot of opportunities. But engaged parents are absolutely at the core of student success. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your commitment to your kids and to our community. And I hope that you have a wonderful summer, and I'll see you next fall.
Thank you. Okay, and on with that. Okay, so here is the lineup if you want to take note of where your school falls, so maybe you'll be ready when you come up. So first off, do we have, and then Kim McClure, who, like I said, did all of this work to put it together, so thank you. She's going to help take some of the schools that are not in attendance tonight. Do we have someone from Navajo? Okay, Kim, do you want to come up here? Get your own microphone. What do you do? Yeah, okay.
Okay, Navajo's highlights included Saguaro High School football team reading with their students, Tonto Creek Camp on campus for STEAM learning. They had a rummage sale, trunk or treat, canned food drive, the Dad's Club, that has to be cornhole, not cornhole tournament, Jingle Jog, Valentine's Day social with a silent auction. They had a field day, and the Parada del Sol parade. Navajo won the Best School Award for their entry, and I was there. They were great. They also, the 5th grade took a trip to Camp, how do you say that, Tontozona. 4th grade took a trip to South Mountain. They have an amazing student garden, the spring open house and grand reopening ceremony. They had their campus rebuilt. And taking care of their teachers through their PTO, a readathon that raised over $10,000, and lots of STEAM learning.
Thank you. Desert Mountain.
Good morning, everybody. So as you can see here, we're very busy at Desert Mountain High School. 7 all-state vocalists and band performers. Super proud of that. 2 best-in-class vocalists at all states. Marching band ranking 2nd in the division. All-state jazz auditions, regional honor band, concert band festival, all-state regional, Greece musical performance. Then in academics, 12 National Merit finalists this year. Pretty impressive. 3 National Merit Scholars, 1 National Merit Special Scholarship winner, and I will let you read all the rest, so I won't bore you with my voice. Lastly, we have some really great athletics this year. POM #1 in the state, swim team state champs, both boys and girls, girls tennis state champions, softball and baseball made it to double elimination games. So we're real proud there at Desert Mountain High School. I was just talking to this young lady at the table with me. We're always trying to increase enrollment. This is part of the reason why we think Desert Mountain's so great. So thanks.
Thank you, Brian. Okay, Sequoia.
Hi, thank you. We had a really great year at Sequoia. We had an amazing turnout for our annual art walk. Everyone was so happy to just be back on campus and be able to hang out and have fun and laugh together and enjoy the art. Family members had a blast leading Young Authors Day this year, where the students shared their stories, book reports, and research papers. And then Our APT is just constantly doing so much. I know I didn't put that on the slides. I feel like maybe I should have added more. Desert Mountain and Navajo. But our APT is constantly just doing so much for our teachers and staff. We had Mrs. Rich, our 5th grade teacher, was chosen as Sequoia's Charo Teacher of the Year, which is super exciting. And just a lot of different fun activities being on campus again. Big shout out to all the teachers, all the administrators, and all of the staff, volunteers, substitute teachers that came in during the year, other staff members that filled in and really just helped out. You know, this was a transition year, a tough year for everyone being back on campus and trying to figure everything out. And I'm so proud of Sequoia and everyone for just rising to the occasion and staying positive more than anything else. It was great. Thank you.
Pima? Oh, wonderful. And why don't you guys introduce yourselves before you speak? Thank you.
I am Jasmine. I'm from Pima, or my son goes to Pima. We have the principal and the vice principal honor a student each month that is nominated by a teacher in each classroom, and the kids love it. And then those awards are given out at a flag ceremony. Each grade gets a month where they perform, and parents are allowed. And my kids started kindergarten last year, so anytime parents are allowed on campus, it seems like the biggest deal. But great turnout. Spacebar, cool. Yeah, and same with Literacy Night. Seemed like everybody was there. Each classroom got a different country, and they learned about it, and they had an activity in each classroom that the kids did, so kids could travel around with their family around the world. Huge turnout, which included a book fair too. And then it's not showing up, but our principal is new last year, and he does rap videos for the kids to get them excited about reading and learning. And
Stimulate my mind and my imagination. Work out my brain, improve my concentration. Learn about the world and every dispensation. Exercise my mind.
That's very cool. Okay, Pueblo.
Jennifer Flory from Pueblo Elementary. We have just one slide. I feel bad. We did a great year this year. It was, different. We didn't get to do everything that we wanted, but we did a lot. We had a fantastic readathon. We had a really amazing Coramucho, which is our fun run. And the Dads Club really knocked it out of the park this year. They did the most amazing events for all our kids. They did a Halloween drive-through and had about 150 families go through and raised 100 and, what does it say, 80, 60? Or 500 and something pounds of food. Sorry, I guess I need glasses. The other thing that they did that was amazing this year was the camp out and movie night. So on the Sunday before, they started with 150 RSVPs, and by the Friday, they had 450. So they quickly had to buy more food, quickly had to reorganize. So they absolutely knocked it out of the park. We did some really great events, and one of our other highlights is our shirts. So I'm wearing our volunteer shirt. We have an amazing parent who's just designing shirts away. So every student got a Fun Run purple shirt. Every kid was running the Fun Run in purple shirts. It was really amazing. Every teacher got a shirt, so our kind of Pueblo pride is really throughout campus. So we had a great year, so much fun. For those of you who don't know, we are Spanish immersion, so dual language immersion. The kids learn 50% in English, 50% in Spanish, and they're doing just incredible job, and we're so proud and excited for our school.
Okay, Ingleside.
Ingleside has a new principal, Dr. Junior Michael, and it's been a great year. My kids go here, one of my kids. They're, I forget what the full name of it is, but anyway, they have an amazing advanced choir called ICE. They travel, they win all kinds of competitions, so that's the picture up top. Their baritone section, Brandon Thompson, Max Fox, Camden Coyne, were awarded Most Distinguished Musicianship for their performance in concert. They were celebrated for their performance of the national anthem at a Diamondbacks spring training game. They had a flute player who I'm related to go to the All-State Honor Band and represent Ingleside there at the All-State Band. One of their teachers, Jordan Holland, was a recipient of the Arcadia News Teachers Who We Love. Shaleigh Stone was the Charos Teacher of the Year. And Allison Pollack was awarded the Teacher Appreciation Prize and received her entire Amazon wish list. Athletics, the girls' JV volleyball team was undefeated. So was the boys' varsity basketball coach, or team. I guess their coach was Martin Barcera. And so is JV flag football. Track and field, Ingleside did really well. They had a first place finisher in the 100 meters, Braylon Wilkerson. He also won the 200 meters and third place in a jumping one. It doesn't say what jumping event. Art celebration, students designed banners for the Google Doodle with the theme of I Care for Myself By, and a bunch of them actually sent in their doodles to Google, so maybe some of them will show up one day when you're searching the internet. April 14th, the visual arts students had a bunch of their work displayed at the Arcadia High School for the Arcadia Learning Complex Agora Fest. And the garden club there, it's run by 2 teachers. They're amazing. They have all kinds, they have amazing harvests all the time. The teachers are Mr. Wagner and Miss Leonard, and they grow, so this is not a exhaustive list. Herbs, carrots, beets, kale, chard, lettuce, peas, sweet potatoes, onions, turnips, tomatoes. They grow everything. It's really, really amazing.
In Tonalea. Okay, so Tonalea K-8 school. There's not a lot of text with this, but lots of cool pictures. So here's their squad. I think this is from the Prada del Sol, where they participated in some of their classroom activities. And there's some of their wide variety of electives. They have a lot of STEM and college career programs at Tonalea. And then these are some of their sports activities and some of their fundraising activities as well throughout the school year. Okay, Echo Canyon.
We also have a lot of photos to show off here. I'm Valerie Ramos. I'm a parent of 2 kiddos at Echo Canyon K-8. I'm just going to read what the principal said about this one student because we are so proud of her and wanted to highlight her. She is the young lady there on the right. Her name is Sarah Zuleta Chavera. She won the 2021 Student Success Story Award at the Hope Conference, which recognizes students from unique populations. She's an English language learner with exceptional stories. Sarah won the award because she moved here in 6th grade from Columbia. She left her mother to live with her grandmother to be safe. She's in the 8th grade now, fluent in English, a straight-A student, and she serves as our student council treasurer. We're very, very proud of her. Over here, there's a couple photos of kiddos doing an activity that we're so happy to have back on campus called Exploration Friday, where volunteers from all over the community come and do workshops for our kiddos. So anything as diverse from taiko drumming for 8th graders or mental health awareness for other middle schoolers. Some of the workshops have included the Arizona Science Center, Scottsdale Artist School, Audubon, Arizona, the McDowell Sonoran Conservancy. And so if you have a special talent to share with our kiddos, I know you're all busy, but they just get so much out of it, and it's one of the things that makes our school so unique. All right, you can go to the next slide. We also were able to bring back Family Reads Day, which has been just a wonderful activity that we've been able to do with the exception of last year. Family Reads Day enables families to come on campus and either read to their children or have their children read to them for about 20 minutes. It's multi-generational, as you can see. That's my son's grandfather. But it's really a lovely opportunity to share in the love of reading, and it really promotes that reading culture at our school. And then over to the right, we also are very proud to showcase our school gardens and the Blue Watermelon Project, which, if you haven't heard, our school, Echo Canyon, is the model school for Blue Watermelon Project. The kiddos there at the bottom are able to take home produce that we've grown on campus. It goes along with a YouTube video that our wonderful chefs from around the community put together. They actually go home and create something, and that we've since from ingredients that they've grown on campus. And so it's really, you know, a farm to table experience, something we're really proud of, and the model garden is at Echo Canyon.
Okay, Desert Canyon.
Hi, I'm Samantha. My son Thomas is in first grade at Desert Canyon Elementary. We had a pretty exciting year. I can't say that, you know, I know what it was like before COVID on campus, but, you know, given all the restraints in place right now, and I mean, you know, a lot of them have lifted at this point, I think, you know, but at the beginning of the year, things were kind of tough, and, you know, volunteers weren't on campus, and then, you know, eventually some could get back on campus. So everybody had to be really resourceful. Our PTO was amazing, and the parent volunteers were amazing, and came up with ideas for basically keeping people outside and getting the activities that we wanted to do done. So book fair was a really great example of that. I mean, I know most schools have book fairs, but it was completely outside in the fall, and so that required people every single day to, you know, set up and then take it all down every single night. So you can imagine how much work that was over multiple days. We also had tons of other activities outside. We had some great fundraisers, like our fiesta, which was outside in a Mexican restaurant. We had our Amazing Race, which you'll see on the next slide. But that we surpassed all of our fundraising goals with each of the activities. We had a family fun run, which we participated in. It was a ton of fun to have everybody on campus, and I think it was sponsored by our running club, which has been a great success. We also have a garden club, and my son was very proud to bring home one parsnip, which I had to try to figure out what to do with the one parsnip, but I cut it up and put it on a salad and showed him. He was very excited. So yeah, we have some really nice photos. Another outdoor activity was our Chinese New Year's celebration. Our school has a dual language program, an immersion program for Mandarin, and I believe the class that started it is actually about to go to middle school, right? 5th grade? Okay, so they have one more year, but they're almost there. So it's pretty exciting, and I know that there's a lot of plans in place for that transition for the kids in the Mandarin program. And then we also had a 2nd grade musical, which I hear was amazing. I wasn't there, my son's in 1st grade, but it was all outside, and our music teacher, Mrs. Suderman, is great. And then we also have some photos from Amazing Race. So, wonderful year.
Okay, Chaparral.
Hi, everybody. I'm Betsy Pye with Larissa Beckstead. I'm one of the SBC reps from Chaparral. I put this slide together, and I have to tell you it was a challenge. One of my other responsibilities at Chaparral is to run the APT social media account, which means we amplify things that are being done by clubs and teams. It gets busy. We've got a lot of kids. They do a ton of different things. Some of it's quantified, you know, our National Merit Scholars, our tennis team. Some of it's competitive, and some of it's not. So I started making a highlights list, and it stretched to several slides. I got worried I was leaving things out. I didn't want people to think that, you know, tennis was more important than swimming or vice versa. And I also know that there are a lot of things happening at the school that don't necessarily show up on those sports and team Instagram accounts. So scaled back, started thinking about something that's common to everything at Chaparral this year, and that was an emphasis on community. That took the form of community within the school. Student government tried to restart traditions, school spirit activities, and events that were disrupted by COVID. We have students working as peer tutors, peer mental health support. We also had the opportunity to welcome new students who are Afghanistan refugees. And so all of that, we had a lot of support for building community, strengthening our community within the school. But then we also took it outside, partnering with Tanalia Elementary to referee sports activities, volunteer at different events, working with several community organizations. It's all highlighted on our Firebirds Give Back highlight on the CHAPS Instagram account if you ever want to look at our stories. But largely, it's all been underpinned by an updated version of Chaparral's vision, mission, and values, which was a collaborative process led by faculty and incorporating lots of student input. So essentially, we're maintaining the academic, athletic, artistic excellence and strengthening our commitment to community, both inside and outside our school buildings. Thanks.
Okay, next Mojave.
I'm Nikki Torito. I have a son at Mojave, also a daughter at Saguaro, but I'm the rep from Mojave. So really there's a lot going on at Mojave, like there is at every middle school. Mojave is the Kiva, Pueblo, and Navajo feed into Mojave, so they have a lot going on because those three schools have very different programs going on at their elementary schools. So one of the key aspects at Mojave that they really pride themselves on is their PBIS program. They really work on keeping their culture strong. Oh, okay. Put it back. So our principal and our school psych and another mom, Karen Gifford, who is sometimes here, you might see her, did a presentation about, well, technically, what was it about? Technically, it was about training staff and committing resources to keep PBIS fresh and to keep it embedded within your community and the parent community teacher school connection, keeping that strong. So they were recognized nationally for doing this at Mojave. It's a pretty big deal at Mojave, and it really works. They also have been working on their college and career enhancement. Comprehensive gifted program is strong. The dual language immersion comes from Pueblo and is fantastic at Mojave. Fine arts is always something that Mojave loves to focus on. Their band, strings, choir, music, theater, and visual arts are always very strong, although our amazing strings teacher did move to Saguaro this year, but I think that's okay. They're going to be doing well over there. And we got somebody equally as awesome. We have worked really hard on their special education programs at Mojave, socialization, communication, academics. It's another strong point that they focus on at Mojave. And then it says the PBIS, which I already talked about, which is kind of something that Mojave really focuses on.
Thank you. Okay, Cochise.
I'm Katri Casey. I have a son in SEA at Cochise Elementary School. I just have a kid up at Saguaro who's about to graduate. So Cochise this year have brought back a lot of their old traditions. The show up here, our Veterans Day Parade, has been huge. I've been a part of the Veterans Day Parade now since 2006, and it's a wonderful, wonderful tradition, and the kids love it. They've brought back the turkey trot, the Jingle Bell Jog. Our book fair is back in full force now. And our wonderful art walk that our arts teacher, Lauren Threet, puts on every year and works extremely hard on. We're all back this year, so it's been a really good year. That's the art walk. That's all
the art wall. Oh, that's the chicks, yes. The kindergarten chicks came back. Every year, our kindergarten teachers hatch out chicks, which is something that got missed out on during COVID because they couldn't do, but they are back.
Okay, on to Hopi. I don't remember if Hopi was here today.
Okay, I haven't been a Hopi parent for a few years now, but I made these slides. They sent me pictures. So Hopi had a return of the Spring Arts Fair, which is like arts fair plus a carnival. It's really fun. So you can see that they use all their outdoor space to display the students' artwork, and then they have opportunities to create more art while they're there. Hopi has a long history of also having amazing gardens, and then they actually packaged up the gardens and then brought them back out when they had their new building, which I think opened 3 or 4 years ago now. Anyway, those are still thriving. They have a strong parent volunteer force or fleet that takes care of those gardens. Okay, and this video is spectacular. It is from Tuesday, 2/22/22, and they had a massive celebration, and I'm really excited I got this in the slide. There's cereal boxes. Arcadia, anyone here? No? Okay, me again. I also made these slides. So Arcadia has had a great year. They had 3 National Merit finalists, William Logue, Grace Reed, Elsa Steen Capel. They have 5 valedictorians this year, Ella Cross and again, William Logue, Sarah McCartan, Ryan Spear, and Elsa Steen Capel. The Spirit of Arcadia Marching Band is great. They won both of the competitions that they competed in at the state level. And they had a freshman who won the state tennis championship. And then Ryan Spear and Alyssa Banks both won the Heisman High School Scholarship Award. They had a swimmer, so Chason is on the swim team, and he was accepted into the United States Naval Academy. Charos athletes of the season were Ryan Spear and Alexander Bolden. Aiden Stanbro won the Arizona Haiku Contest, and I'm going to mispronounce your name, I'm really sorry, probably. Alicia Nakai presented her research, Protecting by Preserving Future Health and Traditional Foodways to the Native American Indians in Science and Engineering Conference.
Great, and then Kokopah. Bryn said she wasn't going to be able to be here today. So at Kokopah Middle School, this year their APT created a student store, and their families, they've donated items, money, and gift cards. And then the new students or any student can shop for clothing or needed personal items. And this is their new Mustang mascot. And then they had a great Teacher Appreciation Week. Okay, Desert Canyon Middle.
I'm Tara McConnell, and I have 2 sons at Desert Canyon Middle. And this year we won the Mayor Ortega named our school the School of the Year because we won the Constitution contest. And we had some runners-up as well, which was awesome. Our band and spirit line marched in the Fiesta Bowl Parade this year, which was really cool. They actually did a lot this year. They also went up to Prescott, and we're in the Parada de Sol. And our orchestra just got back from Northern Arizona University, where they got an excellent rating. And our theater presented Alice in Wonderland Jr. And they did a lot more stuff, but this is all I put on there. Sorry. But yeah, it's been a great year for Desert Canyon Middle.
Cheyenne.
Good morning. My name's Monica Rubel, and I have 3 kiddos at Cheyenne. And with pretty much full success, we brought back all of our events this year, minus our community event in August, because we were sort of shut down a little bit. But anyway, the biggest thing we wanted to celebrate with you today is that our principal, Grace Stombrace, was awarded the Exemplary Principal Award by the Maricopa County Superintendent. And what was super special about this award, not only was it out of 1,200 principals, she was one of 10 to receive it. We presented it to her at our Evening Under the Stars, and so the entire parent, teacher, student community was able to celebrate with her. So that is what we're celebrating. Oh, and we're looking forward to our 25th anniversary next year.
Thank you, Monica. Yeah, Mrs. Stombrace had no idea, so it was quite a surprise. It was very cute. And Mountainside Middle School.
Okay, Mountainside had a 30th anniversary this year, and they celebrated their excellent education. They had a staff celebration and some special guests. And you can see that looks like students are in the shape of a 30 on the field. Yeah, looks like they had really fun with athletics, academics, getting together socially. I don't know what else to say.
Some we got better notes than others. Yeah. All right, Anasazi.
Dave May, parent rep for Anasazi Elementary School. We've been there 5 years. My daughter's in 4th grade, and our son is in 2nd grade. What we're celebrating here is the last 3 years, we have been an international baccalaureate for the primary years program. We've been a candidate school. And literally on, 2 weeks ago, we finally submitted the application. So we feed into Mountainside and then the Desert Mountain community. So this is from our principal, Waldron, who was the Rookie of the Year last year. So a lot of good things going on up on the mountain. Over the last 3 years of planning and prepping, Anasazi came together May 4th to hit submit on the application for authorization to the IB World Organization. Anasazi now awaits for verification visit days, hopefully to come next fall. With this solid academic foundation, the IB produces students with transferable, future-ready skills and an internationally recognized education. It uncovers and develops the best in every child. As a way to document and share what is occurring at our school related to IB, a parent portal was developed to share with families as we put Anasazi into action. We regularly update our community on what our students were doing. One example of this was documenting the acts of kindness spread across our community, student agency, school initiatives such as food drives, and projects created in our makerspace were documented and shared throughout the school year in an effort to share the great things occurring at our school. Thank you.
And Tavon.
Okay, Tavon went to a track meet. The 4th and 5th graders competed with coaches Miles and Martin. Looks like they had fun, and I'm sure they did really well. Tavon's scientists work hard each day. And I don't know what kind of experiment they're doing, but it looks like fun. And then the kindergarten students watched as their babies hatched and are now growing up in Tavon's new permanent coop. They had a science night, which was a huge hit for pre-K all the way through grade 5 families. Oh, that might be pre-K 5. They do have a separate preschool. There were hands-on activities at each station. They had spirit days. This one looks like Mustache Day, yep, which was a smashing hit with all of our students and staff. And their 5th grade went to Prescott, and they had an outdoor education. Laguna.
Thank you. I'm Lara Palace. I have 3 kids, 1 alumni of Laguna that goes to Mojave, and 2 at Laguna, 1 a 4th grader and 1 a 1st grader. We are really excited because we finally got our Cognia STEM certification. Our teachers worked for a very long time, and students, and it's basically experiential learning, project-based learning. We had one of the first maker spaces in Scottsdale, and they worked, they did interviews, they did writing, and it's all pretty amazing. So we were really excited, and that just happened about a week ago. I think in Navajo, I think they mentioned that too. They also received it. A few things. It says we have a new reading specialist, but I have to say that Mrs. Bobbitt is not new. Mrs. Bobbitt is a fourth grade teacher, and she's been at our school. She's nationally board certified teacher, just renewed again. She's phenomenal, and she actually got a promotion to our reading specialist, which is huge because she is a fantastic teacher, and now our kiddos are getting supports that they really need. So this is a big, and I think that was with grants, actually, that position was made available. Mrs. Shammy is our gifted specialist. She is a state finalist for the Presidential Awards for Excellence in Math and Science Teaching. She is phenomenal. We are really lucky at Laguna because we have a lot of vetted teachers who've been there over 20 years. We hosted our first Spirit Night in 2 years, and it was a blast. Actually, I have to say this, and because I don't know if it's being recorded, but Karen Kilberg has been a PTO volunteer at Laguna for as long as I've been there, which is, my oldest is 13. And she has been that PTO volunteer who always has made that Spirit Night happen. And if you've ever been there, it really, truly is a phenomenal event. And this is her last year. So I just wanted to kind of do a shout out to that. We raised a record-breaking amount of money in our annual Laguna Laps. And I think like all of us, everyone was so excited to be back on campus. And we just couldn't be more excited. But what really was the kicker was our teachers. They challenged the community and said they would shave their heads, a couple of them, if we reached that threshold, and we did. I think, it was challenge accepted, and they held their promises. So the picture over there is with them getting their head shaved. Mrs. Bobbitt actually is in the upper left corner. That's how committed she is. So thank you.
Oh, and here's a variety of other pictures. We will send this out, and this will be made available to everyone, so you can take a closer look at all these awesome pictures. Oh, is it? Oh, no, here we go. Cherokee.
Okay, Cherokee is super excited to be in their beautiful new school. I think this is their second school year in it. They're probably even more excited to be an A-plus school of excellence. And then in terms of highlights for their school year, the Junie B. Jones Stupid Smelly Bus in the library got some good use. And they have an outdoor amphitheater that was a great place for concerts and gathering. They had a bunch of new students who did incredibly well this year. Their spring gala at El Chorro was one of the best ones yet. And then the final picture is looks like Chandler lost a bet.
And Copper Ridge.
Hello, I am Meredith Abramson. I am a parent of a third grader at Copper Ridge, also on the PTO. Unfortunately, this year we did not get to do all of our usual events. We will next year. But our highlight this year was trying to get back to normal. Instead of our usual carnival, we had a spooktacular at one of our communities. We had games, we had raffles. It was fun. We had food trucks. We also had an event. How do you switch the page? Okay, we also had a art and garden walk. And during that art and garden walk, we did, remembered one of our students that we lost during COVID. And we emphasized to be kind to one another on our campus. We feel that's very important this day and age. We also had our spring auction. We had some good success with that. But again, we've had our fun run, we had our field day, but again, we do have free. And then we were able to have our middle school winter Wonderland dance. And we were able to have our 80s dance for our elementary kids that student government put on. So it was wonderful. The kids had a lot of fun. Parents were overjoyed to be somewhat back on campus. And we look forward to next year.
Okay, Coronado. Yes, this is a special program at Coronado, their Gear Up program. So it looks like they take part in a great number of service hours. They show some details of how many hours they've done and then the outcomes of the success of this program. So it was a 6% increase in students offered a scholarship, 9% increase in seniors pursuing higher education, and 20% increase in their FAFSA completion. And they now have twice as many students going on to university from Coronado. And then another one of their highlight programs is the JAG program. Let's see here. So they have 36 students involved in this program. They do a great deal of community service, and it helps them raise their GPAs, and they had a 100% graduation rate and 100% retention rate of the students that participated in this. They attended a leadership camp in Payson, and then there's a JAG competition as well. So they took first and second place in several of the events, and they have 26 students that are able to attend their end-of-year trip to California Adventure. Okay, Hohokam. Yeah.
The one thing that's not listed in Coronado is one of the Coronado Promise that has kicked off this year, which is amazing. And actually, in my possession, I have 25 certificates for 25 students who will be getting their scholarships on this Thursday, signed by the mayor and amazing community members. So really, really great things are happening at Coronado. It's really, really incredible. Do you have questions? Yeah, so the Coronado Promise is basically coming together. A bunch of community members came together and said, hey, we want to make a statement that college is possible, or trade school, or whatever you want. If you go here, if you do what you need to do, then we are committing funding, financial funding, we're committing academic preparation, we're committing all these different things, and then also mentoring after they go to either SEC, Maricopa, ASU, wherever they go, we're committing to support them as a community. And so it's an amazing team to be on. Amazing things are happening. This is the first year, so really fleshing that out. But like these, if you want to see it afterwards, it details like each organization's commitment to the Coronado learning community, and that's pre-K through college. So great things are happening, really, really cool stuff, and excited to work with an amazing team over there and community.
Thank you. Okay. So Hohokam Yavapai.
Okay, let's see here. I'm Kita, love share me, and I have currently 3 kiddos in Hohokam Yavapai. Next year, as the 2 schools split back again, I have 1 staying at Hohokam. I have 1 going back to Yavapai. I have 1 starting at Yavapai. I also have 1 going to Tanalea, and I have 1 at Ingleside. Anyway, so my Ingleside kid is in self-contained, which is why he's over there. Let's see, this Hohokam got their brand new building as well this year, opened back up. It is a really stunning campus. And one of the things that was really important is because I can't remember who the architect was of that original building, if it was Hafer, if it was, I don't remember. But they tried to keep a lot of the integrity of the original architecture in that building when they built it. And so it's built with a lot of little tiny pods and buildings. And what they did is they created learning communities within each of those pods. So like say they'll have like a 5th grade area and they have a large community learning center as well as each of their own smaller campuses. It's really a beautiful campus. So that was really exciting. And we got to do, I guess, a lot of our things that we've been kind of doing in the past. It's a little, I don't know how many of those things were originally Hohokam and originally Yavapai, because two schools have been blended over the last 3 years. They were at Yavapai's campus, into Hohokam's campus. They're splitting back apart. The kids from Tanalia K-8 are coming into the Yavapai campus, and they've redrawn the boundaries of the schools, or proposed. I don't think it's been passed. I don't remember if they passed it through the school board yet or not. They did, okay. So, so a lot of changes down there, but I know Yavapai always had a turkey trot. We got to bring that back this year. We did a huge Halloween carnival. I think both of those schools usually do huge Halloween carnivals. Everybody, of course, everybody was there, and just lots of games, and the teachers are all there just with a lot of really fun things. They just did some read to me nights where families got to come in. My kids were Cub Scouts, so we didn't get to go. And the fifth graders this year, they got to go into Camp Tonto and do like a 2-day, 3-day like STEAM camp that was really fun. That the fifth grade team put together. It was really fun. They've never really done anything like that, and my fifth grade had a blast. Let's see what else. Yeah, I think that's probably, and just, yeah, FYI, if anybody has any questions about what's going on with the school splitting back apart and stuff, you can come talk to me afterwards, since that's kind of a big thing that's happening on our campuses right now.
Thank you, Kita. Okay, Redfield.
Okay, I go way back with Dr. Rand, so I reached out to her to get these slides made. So Redfield's, she's the new principal at Redfield this year, Amanda Rand, and the theme for this school year was Reconnect, and they had a lot of amazing events. She sent me probably 50 slides, and I had to whittle it down. They had people from the Arizona Cardinals come, and they had a celebration that involved cookies in the library. They had volunteers from Home Depot, so volunteers from local Home Depot come, and they refreshed their playground. So they're painting, they have a map of the country on their playground, so they're repainting that. The city of Scottsdale came and taught kindergarten and fifth grade about recycling. And they also had the Redfield Olympics. So these are teachers, and they're laying on like those flat dolly things, right, that you use to push, like a pile of tables or something, and they're chasing balls. Representatives from the Arizona Coyotes came, and they taught students how to play street hockey. They had a celebration for their national board certified teachers. Pictures that didn't make it in, they also had a Charos Teacher of the Year. They had a arts night on campus and in person. So they had bands, like they had musical performances as well. So that's what you're seeing in the picture on the right, and then displaying students' artwork. They had a turkey trot that involved, so they ran for the trotting part, and then they also had a thankful craft. And then the picture in the upper right-hand corner is for Teacher Appreciation Week, they decorated all the doors, and I guess the door got cut off. But anyway, that is the best door decoration I've ever seen, because it is an actual Rickroll. So if you push the white square button thing in the middle, it plays the song. So I was very impressed with that. And Kiva.
Okay, so here's Kiva Elementary School. We weren't really provided a whole lot of text with this either, so I apologize. Looks like
So-
they're highlighting some of their,
They're about to undergo a rebuild, so this is them celebrating, they're kind of saying farewell to their current building and getting excited for the new one.
yep, so there's the groundbreaking ceremony that they had, and then a picture of their student council who did a big coat drive collection. That is an adorable little new logo as well, getting ready for the rebuild. And Saguaro.
Last one, isn't it?
I think it is the last one.
I'm Susan Hughes, and I have a son who is class of 2020 from Swirl, and now we have a daughter who is class of 2024 from Swirl. And we only have one slide, and I think the principal tried to stuff as much in it as possible. So The big thing with Saguaro, it's academics, arts, athletics, and atmosphere. And the reason why we open enrolled to Saguaro, and 58% of the students at Saguaro have open enrolled to Saguaro. The reason why it feels like a small Midwest liberal arts college. It's got the quad with the center court, and you can see that there, and it's a beautiful small campus. They also got their STEM certification, big STEM program. They have their Math and Science Academy, which is why a lot of kids open enroll there, and they are absolutely amazing. They had the Innovation Center, which was a couple $1 million investment from private foundations as well as SUSD to have this gargantuan makerspace, and it's absolutely beautiful. If you've not been there, it's wonderful for robotics and just lots and lots of STEAM stuff there. They have the VX and FRC robotics team. They always go to state and nationals and worlds. They also have a Sisters in STEAM program that was started a few years ago, and it was really, the focus was to get girls more involved in STEAM. And so it originally started at SEC, and some of the students at Saguaro were involved with that, and the SEC didn't continue with it, and the teenage girls at Saguaro said, screw that, we're gonna keep going. And it is absolutely amazing. When COVID hit, they put it online, and they've been opening back up, and it is so much fun. The t-shirts, the kids, they just have a blast. And so I've been having fun with it when my son was part of that. They also, through the Sisters in STEAM program, set up a cybersecurity program that your kids can be involved with. You don't have to be a Saguaro student, but they have an online cybersecurity program that's pretty interesting. They also have dual language immersion community. They have Pueblo and Mojave go into Saguaro, and they have a ton of CTE programs, including the nursing as well as biotechnology, so they can get that. My daughter is into film and theater, and she'll be getting her CTE certificate as well. Arts and athletics, you know, everybody talks about the different athletic teams that are at Saguaro, but the reality is their art teams are absolutely amazing, whether it be film, whether it be orchestra, whether it be, you know, choir, they're always hitting the nationals. And they have a mentorship program for the incoming freshmen, so the freshmen actually start before the rest of the students so that they get their own little space and, you know, get their support. They have over 60 clubs there, and they have a PBIS program, and a couple things that the principal didn't mention on this one slide, because she only wanted to do one slide. 58% open enrollment. They have a very proud, diverse, and inclusive staff and population, and it really has more of a community feel there. One of the teachers, Mr. Ashley Cross, was top 10 teachers in all of Arizona this year, and he is absolutely amazing history teacher, and he also developed one of the very first Holocaust study classes. Incredible guy, and it's just a great school, and we only have one slide, and we're the last one, so yippee-ki-yay, here you go.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. So like I said, this will be online for everyone to see. Thank you, Kim. So we have a few SBC updates, and then we'll be on our way. So the biggest thing is our new executive board. So thank you, everyone who voted. These I know several are here today, so I will have you stand up. So Kim McClure, who is up here, she is our next SBC president. And then our treasurer is Kirsten Markson, who's here today. Thank you, Kirsten. Secretary is Carrie Fancher. If you're here and I have not met you, please stand up. I have not had the privilege of meeting everyone yet. VP Communications is Julie Levitch. And then our VPs of Representatives are Carol Wacker and Lena Moses. So Lena's here. She's a longtime representative, so this is a wonderful transition. Our VP of Advocacy is Bryven Novak, who is also a representative this year. And our VP of Program is Alex Dunn. And then for co-VPs of Outreach, we have Denise Gonzalez and Kathleen Horowitz. So Kathleen's here today. Thank you. And then I will sit on the board as advisory, where I just get to give comments and do no real work. So it's going to be fantastic. So thank you, everyone, for stepping up and being a part of that. And this was our election committee. We had myself and then 5 of our representatives, Sarah Solom, Becky Tiago, thank you, sorry, Larissa Beckstead, Susan Hughes, and Amanda Slosher. So we met several times. It was a whole process. So thank you, all those reps who stepped up to be a part of that. And our final budget report, Jane, do you want to speak? Jane Trapp, our treasurer.
We're pretty much we were way ahead on budget on our income and expenses. The only thing outstanding still for this last year is our insurance. And other than that, there it is. And I think next year budget, we don't have next year's budget presented here, but any questions, feel free to reach out. And Kirsten, I will give you a call and we will transition everything, all 10 transactions.
Thank you, Jane. Okay, and then, so for committee updates, I know Larissa wanted to speak on the SPED committee.
Always trying to get the word out about us. I'm Larissa Beckstead, a parent of a SPED child who is now going into the job transition program next year. I don't know if you know about that, but you can ask me about it later. And then I have a junior at Chaparral. This year was really a year that we took off. I added Emmy added 2 co-chairs, Robin and Andrea. And this year we were able to do some really great things, be able to help educate parents on IEPs, both in English and Spanish, because my goal was to outreach to our Spanish-speaking population, because it really is an underserved and undervoiced community. And they have special needs just like the rest of us in the SPED world. We did transitions, preschool to elementary, elementary to middle, middle to high school, and then high school to post-secondary. And I brought that up to Marge because I had a really great experience going from Copper Ridge to Chaparral, because the head of the SPED department at Chaparral sat me down and explained, this is what high school SPED is like. It is not like the K-8 program. And she was honest with me, so I knew what was going to be expected going into high school. And we've had the most amazing experience at Chaparral because of that. So that's why I kind of pushed, and Marge said, well, we need to do that for all of it. So it was really good to be able to help parents get those question answers, and then meet the team, be able to answer questions and concerns. We have a whole new SPED team next year. We get the principal from Laguna. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing her with us, because she is absolutely amazing, and we are super excited to have her. And then she has a couple other coordinators that she's going to be adding. But next year we'll be really wanting to include, if you know any Spanish-speaking families, please, please reach out to us. Let them know that we are here to support them, because we do want to be able to provide them the support they need, just like what us English-speaking parents get. So thank you.
Thank you, Larissa. So like she said, SPED is a new SUSD team next year, so it's a great opportunity for parents to get involved. And similarly, Gifted will have a new director, and Kim McClure has been our Gifted chair of that committee, and she'll be stepping down because she'll be too busy. So that's another opportunity for a parent to get involved in that Gifted committee. Any rep announcements? Anything you didn't have a chance to say? Okay, wonderful. That is it. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everyone for presenting.